and found his way to the end zone. It's the Jags and the Aviators, and it's coming up next.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And able to get this out to the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And leading them out in the third year of a young career out of Alabama, it's Mac Jones.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Jones, sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Laviska Shenault, the intended target, and it's third and short. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. But you look at this defense. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. But taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago, 16 carries, 74 yards.
A key component of his team's offense. He will certainly stay in that role if he keeps producing like this each week. Expect him to make a run in not only matching, but exceeding those numbers as this one goes on.
From the 39, Jones. A short throw caught by Andrews. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now third down and 6 to go.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Now Jones to throw on third down. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Jones now to throw on second down. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. That right there is the inauspicious start that they were hoping to avoid, the turnover on the first possession.
I love how you use those college-bound words like that, inauspicious. Well done. I really appreciate that. But here's the thing for me. I'm just wondering if their game plan is incorrect. You know, I think they felt like they could come in and throw it early. They may rethink how they go about attacking.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first. They'll be led out by a rookie 5th-round pick out of UCLA, Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Off the play fake, Thompson-Robinson. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking this secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there because normally you build up to the big shot, but not in this case.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Ready, set.
A tall task ahead of them here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Mecole Hardman. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Aviators post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Throw left side, hauled in by McBride. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Here we go. We're good.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Fields. He's airing it out for Williams. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. And they rattle off a big one. 48 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game. And they hit that one there for big yardage.
The quick slant caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Gibbs will take it in. Touchdown. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Groupie able to add the PAT.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away.
And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Jaguars getting set to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a 2nd and 10.
Off the play fake, Jones.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw, Jones. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Will Anderson brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. This offense back to work now late in this first half.
And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1-minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock. Give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
Being chased out left.
Able to get this one to McBride.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Fields throw complete to McBride.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now it's Fields off the bootleg.
Rolling to his right. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up at Highmark.
Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it
down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for the touchdown. Christian Watson, 58 yards. And the Aviators come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Here's Groupie for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Throwing Jones. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Will Anderson in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. On second down, a run with Hall. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And it's fielded at the 34. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. Tokyo set to go on offense once again. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And you know, sometimes I guess maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back. And essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. Here's Fields. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
That is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards, the final tally.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Sliding out of the pocket. Here's a diving catch right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down. How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good, and the route is on. It's 24-0. Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the 3rd quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Come the Jags. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take, catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Jones. A short throw caught by Andrews. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here we go, get set.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And as a result, possession switches hands. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Play action. It's Fields. This is caught. It's Christian Watson.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 67 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show off their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Things are rocking easy here in the fourth quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Fielded at the 33. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return.
The Tokyo offense heads back out there now.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues. All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Jaguars are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Throwing to start the drive. Jones got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time.